Welcome, folks,
Error
to the
occurred.
Storm Gang.
Hold on. An error occurred. There we go. We're live.
Okay.
Welcome, folks, to Storm Gang for another episode, another nice weekday stream. I am one of your hosts, John Marco, aka GPS, and the usual crew is here. We have Pierce, we have Jason, and a special guest all the way from another part of the country that I forgot, Maria.
Hey,
Welcome.
I'm in Maine, not that it matters.
Maine, all right.
It really doesn't.
Okay, Pierce, next time you're doing the intro.
Sure. So, Maria, you were Yang campaign staff out in New Hampshire, right? Which part?
Yeah, I was a lowly field organizer.
A lowly field. I mean, that's the workhorse of the organization. I won't call that lowly at all.
Word.
We feel that life, man.
Yep. That was a good time. Good time.
Yeah, crazy.
It's always nice to have, something that you're working for, a mission.
Yeah, would love to have one of those someday.
Oh shoot. What are you up to right now?
No, I'm
Besides joining us on our awesome podcast.
Sorry, what?
What do you have going on in your life these days besides joining us on our awesome podcast?
That's a good question. I've been quarantining for 3 months and I'm kind of losing my mind. I'm learning how to write code poetry, which is like poetry that's like, it's exactly what it sounds like code poetry, but like I don't know how to write code, so I have to figure that out first. So that's a whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really not doing shit. I'm definitely like very much among the ranks of the unemployed because I'm 20 and have no qualifications. So.
Well, I think Mars is good. All right, so you're off to that good start, but don't undersell yourself. Anyway, for sure though, the quarantine bit has hit us all hard. I have no idea what Maine's quarantine's like, but New York has been probably one of the more stricter states of them. That's
yeah, Maine has been pretty lax. I mean, people are, and also like people don't really give a shit anymore, and they're going out without masks and stuff. So can't wait for that sweet second wave.
Yeah,
I think we're still on the first wave, honestly.
Different. What'd you say there, John?
We're still the first wave, according to that one expert.
Yeah, it is.
Like we never really left the first wave. It's kind of like paused it for a moment and never let it go down as much as it should have. Yeah. Have you at least gone outside? Like I've been quarantining for 3 months here in Miami, and like I didn't leave the house. Like watching my Google location history for since I got here was like kind of embarrassing because like it's just a dot at my parents' house, just not leaving for 3 weeks straight. And then I went to Publix for the first time, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like the outside world, it's like the lamest Fallout scenario ever.
No, I walk to like the convenience store and stuff, but like I mostly chill inside. But I have my windows, like I don't know. I have a huge ass window, and so I open it and like sit in the sun like a fucking wizard. And it's like, kind of the same thing.
Well, me personally, I've been taken to like going to the parks and hiking and walking around. So it's seriously good for the mental health to get out. So works for me. I'd recommend it.
Absolutely.
Walking around is kind of a mixed bag here in Oklahoma because I
wasn't going to say it, but man.
Not everybody's in the same spot for sure.
Yeah, I like live in an HOA and like there's like private security that drives around. So if like you're walking around, like they can get onto you and stuff. And if you do it drunk, you would mistake them for real cops. And in today's climate, you just like kind of run.
Yeah.
That is incredibly lame. I think lame is the word that I want to use right now. That is so lame.
Damn.
Well, I have nothing to do except for like drink, write, and walk.
And you're also supporting Max's campaign, though.
No, Max's campaign sadly is over because he got challenged. Because even though he maintained residence here in Oklahoma while he was in Iowa, because his opponent challenged his legitimacy for campaigning in the state because he worked out of state for those 3 months, despite still having a residency here. And
okay. So it was challenged.
Yeah, it was challenged, and they knocked him out of it because of it. They're like, well, you did leave the state for 3 months despite still having an address here. So, bye.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's important. I actually did get in touch with him today passively because I was posting on like the Oklahoma and Arkansas Facebook, just like trying to build a contact list of Yang Gang still active across the country. And he was one of the people that replied in the Oklahoma group that I was in. So I still have to catch up with him. It's been a while, but I've been like so mentally like everywhere lately that it's just like I need to just chill. I need an off day.
Cross country, so you can swing through Oklahoma, man.
Yeah, I just have the plane just take a little 5-second stop in Oklahoma.
I mean, I'm sure they can do it. I mean, there are only going to be like maybe 3 people on the plane.
Something came up, folks. I'll be right back in like 5 minutes.
Okay. He's got to go do the dishes.
You're not wrong.
Hey, if the lady of the house ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? So staying with his parents currently out in Miami before he moves back to California. So with that temporary thing going on, dude, that is absolutely crazy to hear about Max though, man. That is unreal.
The logo and the yard signs look so good.
It makes sense, I suppose, because if he did have employment in a different state, and if he's registered to like as an address in that state as well, then I guess you've now achieved residency of that state. But that's
people keep dual residencies all the time, though, and run. I mean,
yeah, a lot
Rami,
do. I have no idea about
Massachusetts, but it's the senator for Utah. So
that's unfortunate, man. He's a smart guy too, so I'm sure he considered his legal options, and that's just unfortunate to hear because I know you were busting your ass off helping him out.
Yeah, that's why I've been walking around the neighborhood drunk.
Oh shoot. Well, okay. What's next? Yeah, you wanna tell me what's next after walking around the neighborhood drunk? What are you doing?
I usually try to write some and then go to sleep, play 2K.
Okay. bigger pictures. Work with me here.
No, Max and I are looking into starting a local Oklahoma political consulting firm, and we're going to be going up to Tulsa next week to work on the Medicare reform bill and get people out to vote for it and everything. So it'll be fun. Because we're going to be in Tulsa at the same time Donald Trump is.
Yeah, I was going to say field trip. Sorry, I'm so stoned right now, obviously. But yeah, have fun in fucking Tulsa. Like, don't get shot by white nationalists.
Nah, it'll probably happen.
Word.
You'll be fine. Let's not make drama where it doesn't need to be drama. But
I'm sure there are a lot of white nationalists in our demographic that are going to watch this podcast and be like, "I'm looking for that guy." Pretty easy to find on the 6'8" Jew.
Yeah, the CERN business is pretty legit, man.
Yeah, we there's like literally nothing. Netflix isn't throwing me anything except for unemployment, and my WGA insurance is up in a month. So
yeah,
starting your own business, sounds cool for the time being. Yeah,
respect. That's tough work, man. That's tough work. Yeah. Otto. Mood. All right, as the kids say these days, mood.
Yeah. We're pretty much that exactly right now.
We're all like your last brain cell. I couldn't even remember how many brain cells were in the meme.
There are brain cells in a meme?
No, the meme that's like my last 2 brain cells. That's how many brain cells. Sorry, but yeah, I was trying to reference that, then it just didn't.
All right.
Working out the way that I intended.
Oh, did you see the meme early that someone, what is it, Dankbot or something posted earlier today, where Two top essential like employees, like doctors and janitors. Two top non-essential employees, artists and something else. And then across over at the bottom on number 3 was meme makers or something with the crying Jordan.
Whatever it was.
It was hilarious.
Hell yeah.
Meme making is essential work, right?
Yes. And non-essential work at the same time.
It's like motherhood. It's not compensated.
Well, what really is essential work, right? If it wasn't essential, then nobody would pay you to do it.
True. I think the only person that's successfully monetized making memes was Fuck Jerry, and we all know how that turned out after he got sued by all the comedians.
Fuck fucking Jerry.
Speaking of which, I've got to change my fucking last name. Did you hear about Chris D'Elia?
Okay, can we talk about the Blackout Tuesday thing and how that was literally just the same advertising campaign as the fucking Fire Festival? Like, I know that was an op, but so like it's like not, I don't know, it like doesn't even matter, but like I was like, are we really using their same advertising campaign right now?
That was like, I'm literally sitting on Twitter as that happened. Like, I'm like tweeting away, I just like posted a picture of something I had made that morning for like breakfast. And then I'm like, perusing and everything. And I start getting like all these notifications and I'm like, oh shit, the Trump people must have found my joke last night about him having a small penis.
Oh
like,
no.
Scroll to see what they're saying. And, it's like all these people going, this is spam, you're a spam account, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? And they're commenting on this thing. And I'm like,
bro, I got so black-pilled.
All right, so I'm out of the loop. What on earth are you guys talking about?
There was this massive hack of Twitter where all these accounts posted DC blackout, and it was the same message. As someone who lives and works in DC, I can tell you it's all safe and good here. There is no media blackout. It's simply we are asleep.
It's like
they all got posted within the same like 5-hour time period on Twitter, and with the exact same message across all these hacked accounts.
I woke up at like
the ones that was hacked.
Morning. I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I'm like rolling over. I'm like, oh, let's see what's up on the like brain damaged bird app this morning. And then I open it and then it's like the world is falling apart and like there's just like so many psyops on the TL. I'm like, I just feel incredibly gaslit and I've been up for like 5 minutes. It was just not good.
Okay, so you're not talking about
quoted by NBC News. I got quoted by so
right. Okay, now I know what you're talking about. This wasn't yesterday. This was last week or whatever.
Yeah,
was it last week?
5 days. Right? All that I missed.
What?
Oh, absolutely.
The massive fake that there was. People were worried that DC was blacking out its comms and all of that, and it was just much ado about nothing, and a few hackers that managed to get a hold of Twitter accounts. Jason was one of those Twitter accounts.
And everyone was like, holy shit, a verified got hacked. This is scary. And I was like, okay.
I want to know how they figured out my password, though, because I have like the most complex password in the history of the world.
Probably your data got leaked. I have no, whatever.
To answer that question, Jason, do you use that same password anywhere else?
Everywhere.
Then, yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's at Judy Greer is the single most gorgeous woman in the world. 00.
Why would you want to type that all out anytime you logged in?
What was that?
Why would you
memory
type that all out every time you had to log in?
Oh, because it's just the best password I could possibly come up with. Because
okay.
I'm a Judy Greer stan, have been since like 1999's Jawbreaker.
I like how your Twitter handle on your username right here is misspelled too.
Oh, I misspelled my Twitter handle?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I forgot the S. No.
Oh, I didn't even spell my Twitter handle.
If you want, go ahead and throw it up. That way people can follow you after.
How do I do that?
Or Deering.
I don't even know. My Twitter's out there.
I don't even know how to change it, so I think I'd have to leave studio.
My Twitter doesn't need any more followers.
Yeah, she does great on Twitter. She's like the best shit poster. Like,
no, it makes me nervous.
What was that?
It makes me nervous.
You hate it, but you need it.
Pierce isn't very active on Twitter, so he probably doesn't know like how epic your shit posts are.
Maybe.
Most of Twitter is just a big giant bag of drama, and I got plenty enough of that in my life. Don't need more.
Yeah.
The greatest
So
part
you
of quarantining is that there's drama in my life. I just don't give a shit about anyone enough to have drama with them.
Yeah, drama's pretty lame.
Yeah.
Keep my life simple, clean, you know?
I'm curious, how casual is this stream? Because I have a 99 proof pineapple here.
I'm sorry, what?
For it.
I'm just saving that.
Pretty darn casual on this stream. I know we got the. Oh shoot! I should probably actually change that logo.
Oh yeah, we're not forward. Yeah, well, we're part of the Forward United network, but we're not.
There we go.
There we go. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, me either.
You can blame Ellers for improperly setting that up. Ellers, I know you're watching right now. How dare you?
It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, man, down the hatch, bottoms away. By all means, go for it.
150 calories, 7 grams of carbs, 99 proof.
99?
Yeah, 49.5% alcohol per volume. Jesus.
What is it that you're drinking?
99.
I don't know. Somebody on gave it to me when we did a drive-by birthday for one of our cousins or something. It was my uncle's birthday. We did a drive-by.
You just drive
Yeah,
by.
we've been doing that.
You're like, happy
Yeah,
birthday. Sorry.
Yeah, my entire mom's side of my family lives like in the neighborhood, so we all gather up in like a public parking lot like 15 before a preordained time. It's like the most legal-looking drug deal with older generational people possible.
Oh my god.
And then we check out our cars. It's starting to become a competition. Like the quality of decked out cars with happy birthday signs and the writing on it, it's getting pretty intense. And then I just feel bad for the neighbors because we just drive by their house and just honk the horns and scream happy birthday. I'm just like, God, man, if anyone's trying to take a nap now, they absolutely hate us. And then for my nephew's birthday the other week in their little neighborhood compound, there's a cop that lives there. So he joined in, turned on his sirens, and was just blasting it, like rolling around the neighborhood. And I'm like, gosh, this is very inconsiderate.
You guys obviously do not live in an HOA.
Oh, no.
You know, I have a subreddit that's subscribed to Fuck HOA. Yeah.
Like someone needs to have like an epic tweet that perfectly describes HOAs because I cannot stand them. I know that they're trying to be the good people, but they're the opposite of that, in my opinion.
They're literally the Karens of your neighborhood.
There you go.
The people that you would want to take charge of your HOA aren't people that want to take charge of the HOA.
It's not the cool neighbor who, like does the barbecuing or has like, like an illegal still in his garage. It's it's the Karens with like who are out there like with a yardstick measuring the height of their hedges and shit.
It is definitely the power hungry, tripping Karens that, yeah.
If you defund the police, they're totally going to be our like new police force. They're already lining up to volunteer.
Oh my goodness.
The other day, and she's like, I am so glad my name is not actually Karen because that would be the worst possible name to have in the world.
Well, no, look at me. I've got to change my freaking name now thanks to Chris Delia being a creep.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of
stand-up gig booking because of that. They're like, he literally called me up today and said, "Hey, we don't need you to zoom in and provide some comedic relief or anything. We're just gonna like kind of pull you off the show based off the incidents with your brother." And I'm like, I'm not related. I don't have a D, which was by my standpoint, but.
Are you just talking hypothetical, like an imaginary conversation, or did that actually happen to you? Did you get that phone call?
No, I've actually done a Zoom comedy stand-up show for the Mitsubishi dealerships of Arizona for their regional managers meeting, and they recommended me to the New Mexico ones, and I was supposed to do that gig in a week, and they like literally just pulled it because of Chris Delia, saying. hey, you're 16 and hot. Can you send me like a picture of your feet? So
people assuming you're right.
My last name now.
Do you guys see that Twitter thread of this girl that had an encounter with Chris D'Elia a couple of years ago or some time ago? It's like, yeah, I was 21, and then I heard he was coming to town, so I added him on Twitter. Like, hey, you want to hang out? Casually, he replied, yeah, let's hang out. And she understood the subtext of what he was probably intending to happen. So they decided to meet at a public bar. She goes to that bar, and when she's almost there, he messages her like, oh no, meet me in my hotel bar instead. And she's like, okay, well. But she just really wanted to meet her favorite comedian.
Yeah.
And she gets to the hotel bar, and of course he then messages, and she starts drinking at the bar. She of course messages her, yeah, come up to my room. And she's like, no, I just rather meet at the bar. Thank you very much. Just being very like, let's be fucking adults here and be respectful of each other, right? And then after a while, when she wouldn't nudge, he just stopped texting her. And in the end, sometime later, she asked, oh, what's your room number? And she's like, oh, right, yeah. He gives her room number, charges all the drinks to his room and leaves.
Oh, God.
And I'm like,
that.
Fucking queen. Oh.
I love that.
Yas queen right there. Fuck, I love that. I'm like so proud of her. Like, it's not just like funny. Like, it's badass.
So all I heard was the headline that, apparently he wanted something inappropriate with someone underage. Has this been like corroborated by anyone, or is this
about 267 people at this point?
Holy, what the hell?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's enough sample size to enough corroboration. Jesus, man.
I mean, a whole lot of people on Twitter are pointing out the irony that he literally played like a pedophile stand-up comedian on the Netflix show You, and then here in real life, like 2 months later, pedophile stand-up comedian.
Shame.
I mean, already like the old Navy's version of Keanu Reeves, and now.
Something real quick. Otto, I actually don't know so basically what I'm doing is I'm taking in like one of the open source classes that like MIT basically like publishes the syllabus and like all the like everything for the class except like and basically the class materials. I don't know why that took me so long to remember what it was called, but so I haven't started yet because I'm a piece of shit and also just figured it out. But I actually don't know yet because I don't know anything. Like I said, I don't know anything about coding. So I'm like buying the books and stuff. In short, to be determined. Sorry, that was a waste of time. But
yeah, I was actually going to mention earlier, like, I know they're like MIT and Harvard that offers like free courses online.
Yeah, I was actually looking around yesterday. They look like the MIT ones are sick as fuck, honestly. Like, I highly recommend looking at them.
Yeah. Free education is tight.
Just not underneath Elizabeth Warren's flagship program.
What was her flagship program again?
Free college for everyone unless you make over like $1 a year, because then you're considered uber rich.
I was actually I remember one of the first thoughts I had about Andrew after I watched a Joe Rogan interview was I don't know if it was specifically his approach to education, but a lot of progressives' approach to education, like free versus like highly subsidized or reduced cost. And of course, Andrew is all for like controlling the cost of education. And I was like very pro free public education for a while, but then I realized, if you get something for free without any teeth in the game, it's kind of like harder for you to like to push yourself to do well in it.
It becomes an extension of high school and becomes as worthless as a high school diploma. I mean, high school diploma.
Yeah, well that's the thing. Like, there's also a time where I thought like, damn, like college degrees are getting worthless. Like everyone needs a master in a few decades, and everyone's getting a doctorate after being competitive. But at the same time, is it really a bad thing to have a well-educated society? Like that in general is a great thing. But
remember, like a high school diploma used to be an extremely well-educated society, and now it's just turned into like you barely know as much. You can't beat a fifth grader on that Jeff Foxworthy show, if it's still a show. What was it? Are you smarter than a fifth grader or something like that? Yeah. I mean, if you do that with a college education, then it's literally going to become the same thing. You can't even outthink a fifth grader. I already have trouble with that, and I have that I paid for.
Generational change is another factor to play in there, because like the past 5 years I've seen as much change as the previous like 10 or 15 before that. Like I can't imagine, like my sisters are 10 years younger than me, they're about to go to college, and it's just like they grew up with the technology world, whereas some of us are like, we transitioned from the analog to the digital world, and my parents and grandparents are like a completely different thing. Like, so change is always happening. Change is happening faster. We have to be more adaptive to those things. But going back to the topic, I strongly believe like the cost of education should be a little more controlled, and people should have some skin in the game for you to push yourself to do a little better, because high school itself is like ends at the cusp of like when you become a legal adult too, and you kind of have that tie-in with that with your family. They're expected to support you, etc. So after that, like you need some push for you to do well in college. Even though, of course, there are people out there that want to excel and could do well regardless of your financial situation. But I just think some skin in the game is important at that point.
Yeah, and plus you have teachers that want to be college professors and stuff that are there and everything. They're actually getting paid to be there, like decently enough to have a living. I mean, if you started paying people, at colleges what they're getting paid for like public ed, like what they're getting paid at like the public education, K through 12 level. I mean, they're going to be just as disillusioned and uncaring as anyone else, and just just get through my fucking class. I don't care. I don't like you. I'm going to pass you through it. I'm not going to flunk you. Stuff like that. And then you got to look into the fact that they're going to start standardized testing college students to see if they're making the proper progression, to see if they fucking qualify for funding for the free education or teacher pay raises. And then you're going to have another rash of teachers who only teach to test and no actual free thinking is done. And then you're going to lose like the music programs and the art programs that colleges, help people excel for, and the writing programs, just like you did in, standard education, because hardly anywhere in public education are there music programs or art programs or writing programs anymore. It's all reading, writing, and arithmetic. To like throw it back to what my paternal grandmother used to say before she passed. So
yeah, arts and culture is one of those things that in an ideal society are always there, and it sucks that it's like when times are rough, it's the first thing to go. But like in general, I think it should be always there because it's just part of our culture. It's like it'll be how I identify who we are as people. And it always bums me out when there's cuts to arts and education and stuff like that. I mean education in general, but like when you cut arts funding and just increase other things, like I believe people should have the freedom to just study what they want to study and give people options of what they want to explore. And of course, it would happen in a much more human-centric world. There was actually slightly related, I'll link it over here, but a very, very good Vice article that I read yesterday. I think in the private, I don't know how to put it on YouTube or anything, but the title is COVID-19 broke the economy. What if we don't fix it? Instead of reopening society for the sake of the economy, what if we continue to work less, buy less, make less for the sake of the planet? It ties into global warming and it also ties into, of course, human-centered capitalism. And unfortunately, no mention of Andrew at all in there, but it touches on a lot of his points. And I really got to give it another read, because not reading it once was not enough for me. That was really good.
Oh well, Andrew's like so he just doesn't get the media coverage he deserves. Like even during the Herzog-based debates tonight and everything, like one of the questions the moderator asked is, "Who did you support in the Democratic primaries?" And the guy's like, "I don't think we need to ask you to Herzog," and went straight to like that mean bitch with the thumb up her ass, and Jerry Naylor, who's like have gotten so big from all the Arby's roast beefs that he's eaten that he literally can't close his mouth. I mean, it was like ridiculous. But he's like, "Lord," and the other one was like, "Well, of course I supported Mr. Bernie Sanders, the greatest human being on the face of the planet."
So they didn't even give Herzog an opportunity to answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, just like, I think we all know who you support and just like went on.
Yeah, but how was the debate in general? Unfortunately, at the same time as the Zoom call tonight with the other candidates.
Oh, Herzog kicked ass. Like, he did everything
Really?
Andrew would have done in the debates. He was tenacious as fuck. He just gave biting answers and everything.
Fuck.
It was like, okay, 2024, we know who's prepping Andrew for the debates.
Good. We need someone to do that.
Yeah. How was Nadler?
Oh, and Pageant was like so awesome, like during her like live stream of it, because she hated that one girl that's like running against Nadler too.
Lindsay.
Like,
fucking bitch.
Oh my god, I hated her. Like, I don't even remember her name, but like I remember that face. It's forever burned into my mind as someone that, you know, probably murders puppies.
So I'm out of the loop. You had Nadler, you had Herzog. Who else? Who's this lady that you guys are talking about?
Karen.
Who?
She's running against. She's running against Herzog and Nadler, but she's like a Bernie person, but she's just like fucking annoying, and she like blocks everyone.
Okay. What's her name?
Oh, sorry, Lindsay.
Small bitch.
Oh my goodness. I can't get anywhere with you people.
Someone who's watching this live, please find out this horrible woman's name.
I literally said it.
We're going to dox her.
Thank you, Mocha-Lex. You know.
Lindsay
Let's keep it a little humanity first, folks. There are competitors. What was the word that Buttigieg used? Like, oh, they're not my opponents, they're my competitors or something like that. I don't know.
I mean,
and Buttigieg, what a moment.
I mean, she was about as engaging as being hit in the face with a 2x4 with rusty nails in it. Like, she's like, from the second you see her, and whoever did her eyebrows, like, oh my god, like, she totally just needs to like go see like a nice Asian person at the mall to get her eyebrows threaded, because she definitely saw someone who was white and her eyebrows are like so far apart. I mean, it's just like, oh my god, woman. Go see a fucking professional that's like, you know, a person of color. They know what the fuck they're doing. Never let a white person touch your brows.
All right.
That was probably a little racist. I apologize.
I haven't seen the debate yet, but if anybody does watch the debate between Jonathan Herzog and Nadler and Boylan, shooting out the link right now. Y'all can watch that. Apparently, Jonathan Herzog at his most tenacious, according to Jason. So I'll be checking that out later.
Love that you.
I just quickly Googled Nadler Herzog just to see if there's any headlines or anything. And the first YouTube result is Jonathan Herzog challenges Jerry Nadler with the support of, and then it cuts off. But all I see is the thumbnail is what seems to be Herzog topless on the beach. And it was uploaded 2 days ago by the Queer Network on a 15-minute video.
I love that. I love that.
Oh my god, that man is so beautiful.
That's amazing.
Like, I even if he gets to Congress and does absolutely nothing, I'm gonna have like no qualms with him, because he's just so damn pretty to look at.
I think that should be something of actual concern, though. Okay, Jason.
Like, I'm pretty sure Nadler's like only freaking, you know, job as far as, you know, being in Congress is to provide the fat and shit that Nancy Pelosi injects into her lips. I mean, ugh.
Yeah, the one thing to note about Jason, if you're just tuning in for the first time, is just hashtag no filter 24/7 with him. Just imagine if you were like press secretary, man. That'd be the most lit.
Oh no.
The press would love me. They would adore me. Although I'm still fucking mad at the one guy who did the blackout article for NBC. I gave a thorough, thought-out quote that said the only 3 reasons I would go to fucking Washington, D.C., Andrew Yang inauguration, Max Fetterman getting elected to Congress, or if they built an In-N-Out and I was on a layover. And all he used was the In-N-Out part. He totally Yang media blackout Andrew Yang. I'm pissed about that still. I tweet him every fucking day about it, too, and he ignores me. Bastard.
Where did my Crocs go?
You know what's crazy? Half the time I'm like, I don't know if it's your autism or if it's you personifying your stand-up role, or if it's Jason just going like, you know what, this is the truth. I really think this. I have like no idea where to peg you sometimes.
It's probably a mixture of all.
Yeah, I was gonna. It's a fun little bag.
It's like 50% autism and 25% the other two things.
2% milk.
Yeah.
And one thing I learned about Jason real quick in Iowa is just I'm just gonna smile and nod my head when he talks. Like, yeah.
Oh, really? You see no substance in it all whatsoever, John Marco? All this fucking education that I went and got, and you see no substance in the words that come out of my mouth.
He's fucking with you, man.
To answer your question, Mocha, yes, I would probably drive, to be honest.
I would drive.
I would probably fly.
But yes, I would absolutely make it there. I lived there, believe it or not. So I am actually acquainted with the area. I don't live there right now, lived, past tense. So yeah, I'd definitely go back and see my...
Pierce was in the CIA.
No, it wasn't.
NSA. PBS.
You don't even, you know nothing. But yeah, I was stationed there.
I remember talking to some Yang Gang friends about like the inauguration when it would happen during the campaign. Like, man, I'm going to fly to DC, just party harder than I've ever partied. Oh man, 2024, man, come soon, please. But right now we got the general, we got Congress, we got the midterms in 2 years. It's a lot to. We have to do the work now to make 2024 a slam dunk, is what I tell people.
That's what we're here for with Forward United, man. We got to keep talking and
when Andrew announces 2024, when Andrew announces 2024, he's going to peak at the very beginning and stay peaked the entire duration of his campaign.
Hope so.
That's what I want.
I mean, you got to
especially if Herzog starts, coaching him on debating.
So realistically, Andrew Yang, like, if he comes out the ball, comes out the gate running,
He's got to give me his Twitter password if he wants that to happen.
Okay. But no, if he...
Maria's tweets from Andrew's Twitter account.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to do all right.
Oh, yes.
You know what
that's like orgasmic. That's like just...
There'll be a disclaimer on his bio.
You want to think about that and stroke it. That was that's just the perfect scenario.
Yeah, it will be a huge disclaimer on his Twitter bio, tweets by Andrew are definitely signed /AY.
For sure.
Oh,
I think he'll do.
He is the only person I've ever seen that made Elizabeth Warren afraid, other than an actual Native American.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Joe Rogan clip with Bill Burr from yesterday? It was on Reddit. You might have seen it, Pierce.
Oh,
it was phenomenal. I'll link it, but it was just basically Bill Burr giving very awesome smackdown on why Joe shouldn't be talking about medical advice when he has no medical degree. And Bill Burr has this amazing ability to just punch up from his weight in any level and attack you and still make you laugh as a comedian. I don't know how he did that. It was just phenomenal.
Yeah, he gets to say, all sorts of things that it's finally, I'm so glad somebody could say this. And because he's a comedian, he manages to deliver. He's a brilliant comedian. He manages to deliver it in such a way. It's oh yeah, I forgot. This is kind of absurd. He's right. It's phenomenal.
Bill Burr's the only man that could punch a midget, and it would seem like he took down a heavyweight. This is the way he speaks and phrases. I mean, he's just favorite comedian, hands down.
And he was great on The Mandalorian.
I don't think I finished that yet. I think I fell asleep while we were watching it in Iowa.
I just posted the link on the chat if you guys are interested in watching it, but it was really good.
If only we could post a link for all of the people out there watching us right now.
Well, actually, we could do a little bit
massive, better. One or two people. Hey, 1 or 2 people, we love you.
There's more than that. It's only Sean, the StreamYard. So we can actually do a little bit better than that. you can play a few seconds before we get delisted.
Oh yeah. Find it. I don't know.
So let's
Oh God, Joe Rogan's all meat diet is not doing him any favors.
So she blocks him on Twitter. Today she called Boston College demanding that they not have him back as adjunct faculty. It's crazy.
Oh, the timestamp is later.
Post this, and he points out that it's racist and sexist. So she blocks him and she tries to get him fired.
Okay, this is why that whole thing is fucked up. Okay, because he's acting like white people exist on an even plane, which a lot of people try to do. So it's like,
But he's not necessarily. He's just saying that what she's saying is racist and sexist.
Yes.
Because she's determining who she's going to vote for based entirely on the race.
yes, but
and
there's
the sex.
other elements involved, like the level that white people, not saying all white people, but white people have fucked over people who are not white. Forget about poor white people who they fucked over. So you understand that they're both right, but then like the fact that she then takes it to the point that because he had the audacity to have a difference of an opinion, that's the thing now, that now we're going to destroy you and you can't be on this thing. And then the other level of that is how the corporate entities are so afraid that one fucking nickel is going to roll out the door. Because all of this shit is you're just a paper tiger until you get the big behemoth to listen to you. And there's all of these fucking things, from award shows to this bullshit, that someone just needs to be like, listen, this guy already apologized. This is an old fucking thing. Or look, you just had a difference of opinion. That this isn't the first time you're going to say something and somebody's going to disagree with you. That doesn't mean that this guy can't come back.
Real quick, Pierce, you actually somehow
There's
opened the
some
wrong
shit that's happened to
link.
you. Have an extreme
I
opinion.
don't think it's here.
This guy.
All right.
Yeah, that's enough before we get delisted. But
Yeah.
the timestamp is 429 or 419.
You somehow went to the wrong video, even though I posted the correct link. But whatever.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shoot. I didn't see it. Sorry, brother.
Oh, that's cool.
He wasn't paying attention.
He makes a good point, though. One that actually Andrew Yang made on the campaign. There was this one comedian, I forget what his name
Oh yeah,
was.
the SNL guy.
Yeah,
You also
yeah.
have to remember that that motherfucker was actively still doing it. It wasn't only just in the past. What got him fired from SNL wasn't just his one comment for the past. It's the fact that he literally went up on stage like a night later after everything came down, and he quote unquote apologized, and then he fucking decided to double down on it, and someone didn't give the club his cell phone.
Well, sure. I didn't know that, but even so, my point was that Andrew Yang said, "Hey, I think it's a bit, undue. It's a little unequal. Not unequal. What's the word I'm looking for? Not commensurate, if you will, to fire this guy for making a joke when he's a comedian. Andrew Yang was like, I find the joke in bad taste. He's literally making fun of me. I'm the guy he's making fun of in the joke. I prefer my humor to be a little bit better, but he's like, we don't want to get into a world where you can get fired for this. Quite frankly, he's like, that's just not commensurate. And I thought that was a really strong sign of Andrew Yang's peacemaking. A lot of people could have been like, yeah, bring the torch mob, get this guy fired, burned to the ground. Andrew Yang, the dude he was making fun of, came to his defense. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's exactly the kind of thing I'm looking for.
I was all for like the forgiveness thing until he like doubled down on it, and then I'm like, okay, screw you.
And I would love to watch. I would pay money to watch.
Oh my God. Could you imagine a podcast with Yang and Bill Burr?
Yeah. So they actually both run their own podcasts.
Yang Speaks with Bill Burr.
I think that they would have a lot to talk about. So
Yeah.
we could. Hey, John Marco, like after the show, let's talk about how we could maybe put some birds in ears and make that happen. That would be phenomenal.
Maria, you have Andrew Yang's phone number?
I did. I never used it. I don't know.
Use it now and say, hey, get Bill Burr on your podcast.
And I don't tell him. I won't tell him who I am because he won't text me back.
One of the things we're focusing on right now is actually testify to UBI.
That's with Bill Burr.
Yeah, Marco, what did you say?
And one of the things we're working on right now is this project some of the supporters are working on called Testify for UBI, where I don't know if you guys heard, but Tim Ryan actually sent an invitation to the Yang Gang to set up some people to go testify to Congress for universal basic income. So
there's this guy in California running it, though. He's trying to get as many people that are not Yang Gang as possible to come testify.
Yeah, Angelo.
He's actually like one Yang Gang member and then a whole bunch of people who haven't heard about Andrew Yang or something that like come like, you know, once you hear about Andrew Yang,
unpolitical
Yang Gang, but you know.
Yeah, the point is to make it as unpolitical as possible. So like people from different income levels, different from people from different backgrounds, like it's everyday Americans.
Yeah.
And you know, I wonder how Bill Burr would be about that. But I don't even know where Bill Burr stands on UBI. It'd be nice to know where.
I'm not sure he's ever, you know, honest, amazing answer if someone asked him though.
Actually, yeah, that's true. I want to ask that for sure.
I'll tune in later and be like, Bill Burr, we're UBI, go.
Another interview. I would also probably watch that. Greg Mankiw.
Oh man,
probably
I would watch the hell out of that.
Most respected economist today. He's also endorsed UBI. He didn't endorse Andrew Yang, but he's endorsed UBI as Andrew Yang proposed it. So yeah, I would easily watch an interview with him and Paget, the Yang Gang. He's a smart fellow, smart cookie.
Pageant today was.
Who are the guests on Yang Speaks? Let's see.
Say again, Gianmarco? You broke up.
Who are some of the recent guests on Yang Speaks? Let's see here.
Mark Cuban, some person I never heard of, Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg was not on Yang Speaks. I thought that was an Instagram thing.
Instagram live.
Okay. Yeah. I remember they did something together.
Yeah, that was an Instagram live stream.
No, yeah, they did an Instagram live because Pete decided he wanted to redeem himself because people were still making memes about how he just like grifted everything Yang said instead of thinking up his own talking points.
Or how, yeah.
That had nothing to do with the live stream.
That's my opinion.
Nah, the way I saw it was two friends just literally chatting again, just in public.
Yang hates Pete. I'm sorry.
I don't think so.
I do think so because he said it himself.
Okay. Well, that was not the impression I garnered from the live stream. But if so, that just makes Yang
politics.
Followed us during the campaign and was like, you know, I really like everyone who's running except Pete Buttigieg.
On that note, I did notice that after, you know, the end of each debate, when all the guys are shaking each other's hands, people weren't as eager to shake Pete's hand. That was definitely something I consciously noted.
It's like the annoying kid who skipped a grade and then won't shut up in class. You know, it's like, why are you here?
That lines up. That's probably.
Well, I mean, he literally did that with the military. He's the annoying kid that, you know, skipped like all of the basic training and, you know, all of like the grunt works to immediately become an officer who did nothing except for take a lot of pictures holding guns.
So one of his tasks while he was deployed in Afghanistan was to drive personnel, like higher up personnel, to and from the base to wherever it is they needed to go, like an embassy, for example, right? It would literally, you know, a chauffeur, and he just joked about this for what it's worth. You know, I mean, he's trying to portray himself as like the, oh yeah, you know, I know what it's like to be in the foxhole. That is wrong. All right, he's not. But he has joked about, oh yeah, you know, I was a glorified bus driver. Something weird about that is I remember at one time during the debate, he mentioned, I've been outside the wire this exact number of times. And I was thinking, who counts that?
My father is a lieutenant colonel, United States Army retired. He enlisted to go to Vietnam and, you know, he unenlisted to go to college and then got his degree and re-enlisted, became an officer and everything. And he said, Pete Buttigieg is the fakest soldier I've ever seen in my entire life. He said Jake Gyllenhaal in Jarhead was more of a soldier than Pete Buttigieg.
Well, hopefully I would think that your father would have used different words for what it's worth.
Well, I'm paraphrasing, but I mean his
No. I got to correct you.
But he did mention Jake Gyllenhaal, and
you don't know what I'm trying to say. You don't call Marine soldiers.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I remember, but like, slip of the tongue. Forgive me.
All right.
Wait, was British Marine or Army?
Yeah, I was in the United States Air Force myself.
Yeah, you're the only branch that my father actually respected. So, he said, they're all as we are. They're good guys.
That says a lot about the people he worked with.
Well, yeah.
And then, all right. So, oh shoot, I didn't even notice this, but yeah, it was very.
I was about to say, man, I made it through like 20 seconds of it.
It was folksy, but I think Pete is a very intelligent individual, and although of course I definitely voted for Andrew Yang over Pete. I feel like Pete gets overly shit on by the Yang gang. It's kind of my opinion. I think for someone that is largely overlapped and aligned, it's easy to make alliances rather than enemies. And I kind of wish that we went more in that direction.
Yeah.
I mean, like, since Pete's campaign has ended and you watch him more so as just a political figure who talks, I'm starting to see a lot of the points that you're making about he would have been a decent president because he would have done what was good for both himself and the history books, in the country, because one and the same. But, at the same time, I still kind of hate him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a lot better than Warren or Klobuchar or...
For sure. After intelligence, the best word that I can think to describe Pete is smarmy.
That's true.
Right?
That's a really good word.
Yeah. So I 100% feel you. He's like a strictly worse Andrew Yang. But I think he's, in all seriousness, despite the political levering that he's done his entire life, I think he's an all right guy. I really do.
Yeah. And it's like, next to you, Jason, I think Buttigieg would have been an awesome press secretary. Like, just seeing him answer questions from the press would have been something else.
No, I'm the press secretary. We already covered that.
All right, so Yang as president, 2024. You know who I want to see as the White House press secretary? Marianne Williamson.
Oh,
God.
I 100% mean that to you. I think she would be a phenomenal press secretary.
That's amazing.
She is. She's empathetic, right? And she also can, quite importantly, stand up. Because like whoever the press secretary is, they get hammered and grilled, right? And she will 100% stand up for whatever it is she needs to stand up for and bite back if she has to. Right? I think she would be.
She literally tried to call me out as being a sexist on Twitter for not mentioning her in like a list of people who have spoken out against COVID-19. Like, I'm like, Andrew and Beto were the first two out on the front lines of COVID-19, going to like protest during Black Lives Matters and all of this other stuff, like showing the way to lead the country before they didn't wait for direction from the Biden campaign or anything like every other one else did. They were the first two out the door. And I'm like, where are the Warrens? Where are the whatever? And next thing I know, in my mentions, Marianne Williamson pops up. I suggested that we call New Zealand and, see what they did to flatten the curve and how they eradicated racism. And I'm like, the hell?
Wait, what was that, Maria? You and Jason were talking at the same time for a moment.
I was just saying, like, I remember one time I've interacted with her on Twitter a few times, but like one time, like recently in the past few weeks, sometime I like tweeted, it was like just something stupid, like Marianne Williamson was right about New Zealand, or just like something stupid like that, and then she responded like something affirming about how she was right about New Zealand.
She liked the tweet where I said, I'm starting to see why she wanted to, renounce our rights as a country and join New Zealand as its second state.
This was a joke.
Oh no, she literally liked the tweet though. It was a joke, yes, but she liked the tweet.
Got it. Got it.
I mean, she's like literally finding members of the Yang Gang on Twitter.
I don't believe that he actually came out in full support of UBI. I did a quick Google search after I saw your comment. It seems like, without watching the actual interview yet, it seems to be that he basically said positive things in the idea of UBI, but wanted to tie it to work. This is just me reading like the brief like headline description of it. So I'm not entirely sure, but either way, if he had actually endorsed UBI like without reservation, I'm sure I would have seen that as a headline. So I don't think so.
Yeah, it would have made a splash.
Yeah. But he said something in positive support of it, which from him means not much.
You know, I mean, we moved him like an inch on the thought process. Did we just
What do you thought on who she,
off camera? She just like kill over?
she's right there on the left.
Oh, okay.
She
What do you
blends in.
thought on, not just VP, but I'm curious. Who do you think should be Attorney General?
For Biden or for Yang?
For Biden.
Oh,
Who should be Attorney General? Well, one of the most common names that you're going to get is Kamala Harris, because she used to be the AG for California. Without getting into why, that probably wouldn't be my first pick. I don't have a good replacement for you off the top of my head.
definitely not Bashar.
I thought who the VP is going to be, man. That was just like clear up so many things.
Well, no, like Stacey Abrams is officially out because he called her. He had her on like an interview with him here recently, and just said, "I want to shout you out for all the amazing work you've done," and basically like quashed any VP, hopes for her. So you're either going to get Warren, who's basically walked back every progressive platform she's ever had and said, "I am completely, fully in the center."
It's gonna be too terrible.
What was that, Maria?
Like, he said he was gonna pick a woman of color, and if he ends up picking Warren, that's just gonna be so fucking like.
Oh, Elizabeth Warren still considers herself a woman of color, doesn't she?
It's so funny to me. Like, you might as well take, like, Yang is as much of a woman of color as Elizabeth Warren. Like, it's just not.
At least he has some color.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he definitely, is, more progressive on feminine issues than Warren is. So.
Warren hates women. Sorry, I don't read the rules.
I agree with you there. If you've like read half of her policies in depth, that she came out with, she despises women. She hates herself. She hates women in general, and it's just, yeah. There's probably like 1,000 women right now, like reading my Twitter comments going, "Warren is like the greatest human being."
There's probably 1,000 women.
What was that, Pierce?
Not like, so if I wanted to enlighten myself on how Warren hates women, where would I go?
No, I'm just.
Like her policy pages and stuff. Like if you look at like, her like detailed plans on like healthcare for women and stuff like that, it's just like so dependent upon the male agenda.
Healthcare in Warren's America.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
2020, like you've been a lot.
Yeah, 2020 is too much.
We just had a hurricane season here in Florida, so that's fun.
Oh shit!
That's just starting. Yeah.
A lot of their.
Yeah, let's throw some natural disasters into 2020. Let's just keep going, right?
Yeah, man. Why stop there? But like, I mean, that's when I first moved to California. I would tell people the one thing I loved about Florida is I can see our natural disasters coming like a week away. But the good thing, hi Natalia, what's up? Welcome.
What's up?
The good thing about the pandemic is that we stocked up on our usual stockings like months ago, so we don't have to go to Costco or anything and stock up for hurricane season anymore.
Yeah, that's the one thing about California. Like, you don't see an earthquake coming.
No, that's the worst.
There's no warning.
The big one's about to hit. I swear.
That's what people have been saying since I was born. All right, I've always heard the big one's coming. It's gonna happen like next year. You know.
Well, remember 1989. I was 4 years old. I was in the state for that.
What was that? I think it was an Onion article or a funny tweet where Trump signs a decree that renames the San Andreas fault to Obama's fault.
Yeah, that was really good.
Have you noticed that like Trump's entire presidency up to this point has just been trying to one-up Obama and failing miserably at it? Like Obama got Osama bin Laden, the guy who took down the Twin Towers. Trump got a general for the Iranian army who's like never attacked anyone. He was just peacefully sitting in Iraq, you know, like drinking a beer, and then next thing you know, boom, dead. Trump's like, he's the worst terrorist in the world.
That's great. Feels terrible for what it's about to do. Jesus. Anyways, I think we're at time for today, folks. That was a mostly nicely casual one. We haven't had a super casual one in a while, I think, even though we've only had like
never had a super casual one.
Yeah,
we're
not nearly as serious as usual.
The imminent death of the world.
That's like
Maria. When two people are speaking, I can't hear other people. Say again, Maria.
It was literally not important. I was just saying it's nice to like not be talking about the immediate heat death of the world.
Oh yeah. There's got to be things to stay positive for, right? And you know what? Maybe we should move it to 10 o'clock. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's me. But we're glad that you're here all the same, Natalia.
Yeah. You can tell people that you were here, Natalia. Like I was here last week.
That's how you establish dominance.
Not true. Or yeah, that's true. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope to see you again next week. Everybody stay safe, stay happy.
Next week we'll have special guest Matthew Fetterman or Max Fetterman.
Yeah, we can get Max on. We'll do that.
Oh no, we're going to be in the same place in Tulsa, so I told him he's going to have to sit next to me the entire episode and be a member of the podcast.
All right, perfect.